Hello to all of you. Thanks for joining us on eMag, your weekly news program. We'll be talking about access to drinking water and sanitation in Senegal with our special guest, Fadel Ndaw, Coordinator of PEPAM. It is now time to welcome this week's guest, Mr. Fadel Ndaw. He is the Coordinator of PEPAM, an organization that just held its annual review. In this interview, he tells us about access to drinking water for rural and urban populations in our country.
I'm the coordinator of PEPAM, which is a Millennium Water and Sanitation Program. This is a program which was designed by the government of Senegal for the attainment of the Millennium Development Goal regarding the water and sanitation sector.
Okay, so tell us a bit more about your organization, its mission and objectives, short and long term.
Yes, the objective of PEPAM, as I said, is to try to create an environment, enabling environment for the attainment of the Millennium Development Goals in the water and sanitation sector, in rural areas and in urban areas. So this is a unified framework for intervention in which all actors, all stakeholders are gathered and try to strengthen their efforts to meet these goals.
So what is the situation in Senegal currently regarding drinking water and sanitation? For example, can you tell us what is the percentage of the population that has access to water, drinking water and sanitation?
If you take the urban areas, with regard to the water subsector, we have full coverage. We have 98.5% of the people in urban areas having access to drinking water. This is a very good result, and this is due to the reform, the institutional reform that was set up by the government of Senegal to develop the urban water sector. So I think that in the urban areas we have universal coverage in Senegal. In rural areas, currently we have 77.5% of people living in rural areas having adequate access to water. With regard to sanitation, in urban areas we have 63% of the population in urban areas having adequate access to sanitation, but in rural areas the rate is too low. We have only 30% of population in rural areas having adequate access to sanitation.
So tell me, what are the problems that you face? What are the challenges? Why can't everyone have access to water and sanitation?
You have a funding gap, firstly. When we assessed in 2004 the situation of the sector, to prepare the new program and the strategies to reach the Millennium Development Goals in the sector, we saw that only in the rural areas, only 64% of the population had adequate access. And so we assessed all the means and the boreholes, the equipment to be set up to provide facilities to those population, and the amount of all investment needed was very high. We have a funding gap first. Secondly, you have to build all these facilities in rural areas and remote areas, and it takes time.
Okay. And you just organized your annual review. What was the objective of this event?
To gather all the stakeholders, all the actors in the sector. You have the national government agencies, you have also donors, you have local government, you have civil society, and you have consumers. You have all stakeholders that are interested in the development of the sector, and it is normal that each year we assess together our situation, the current situation of the sector, and to see what progress we made compared to the past year, and also to try to see what are the main challenges we have to face to attain the Millennium Development Goals, and to revise our strategies and to sensitize also our donors so that they can help us to provide enough funds so to meet our goals. So in 2015, the objective of PEPAM in urban areas is to have 100% coverage. So I think now currently we have 98.5%, so I think we are likely to meet this objective in urban areas. In rural areas, our objective is to have 82% of people living in rural areas having access by 2015, and our current assessment shows that this target is achievable.